like you said, it was we left it on the ice on Friday night, and I think we felt at the end of the game we probably deserved a little bit better for the effort that we threw at them. But going into Penn State, a tough building, I like the way our team handled everything. We didn't have the best start in game 2, but we responded and gave ourselves a chance to win. Again, we used Cam Rowe played the first game and was outstanding. Second game he started, had a little bit of a slow start. So Robbie Badoon came in and played really well. So our goaltending's been real strong all year. So we're in a pretty good spot as far as what we feel about how we're playing. We got banged up there in the second game. We missed 2 defensemen, which took its toll on our team, I think, as the series went on. But the 4 that did play a lot of minutes played really, really well. We expect all those guys to be in practice throughout the week and hopefully available for us this weekend. And let's go to questions.
All right, Todd.
Can you hear me now or no?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. When you have someone going on a face-off run like Dylan was last weekend, do you try and get him out more, even if it's not with the guys he's on the line with? I mean, I just looked at the numbers and saw how dominant he was in face-offs. How do you play that in terms of when you need to get a guy in when it might not be his time to be in just to win a draw?
Well, on big defensive zone face-offs, yes. And if it's on the left side of the rink most of the time in that situation when he's that hot, we would use him. But mostly Lindmark is our D-zone face-off specialist, so to speak. So he would get the majority of them. But like you said, when Dylan was having such a big, he's actually all year, he's been really good on him. He's one of those guys now that we have as an option for when we need the big defensive zone draw. His development this year and his confidence all over the ice in the face-off circle, in front of the net, on the power play. He's killing some penalties for us now. This year has been, I don't know if we want to call it a pop year for him or whatever, but I think everybody knew with what he did last year that he was, close to being a guy that could come in and dominate a game, and he's been able to do that. I mean, offensively, I still don't think the numbers reflect how great he's playing. He did have 3 points on Friday night, but he's one now that I think his confidence in being able to be a game breaker and produce when we need to is at an all-time high from a confidence standpoint.
Further questions?
I've got one.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah, Tony. Hey, I know you guys probably don't look at poll rankings and things like that. I get it, but do you kind of feel that maybe you guys are a little underrated at this point in the season?
Well, it's going to be important this year because there's no pairwise. We're not playing non-conference games to be able to, see where we are nationally that way. So it's important, all of these games in the next, few weeks are going to be really important for how it sets up for the tournament selection committee. I know I like our team. I know we deserve what we've done so far. We've set ourselves up to be in a position to deserve the privilege of being able to play in the tournament. But, what only thing we can do is control what's in front of us as far as continuing to play well. So I kind of peek at the rankings. Everybody does just to see where we're at. I think with what we've done with some of the hurdles we've faced, and I know everybody's facing different challenges this year, but what we faced before Christmas, losing, a lot of our key players for multiple games, to be able to get through that and be in a good position. Like, we feel really good about our team. So I think that's the most important thing. It's not so much what everyone else thinks we're at. It's more so what we think of ourselves. So we still got work to do. We still got to keep working to improve. What I mentioned it already, our goaltending situation has put us in a really good position where we got 2 guys that have been not just playing well, they've been horses for us. They've done a great job for us, won us some games. We've got confidence in them. Our defensive group's been really solid all year. When we're healthy, obviously when you're banged up and you go on 4, it stretches those guys out. And then offensively, we got 4 lines, I think that are really, really solid, and all lines have contributed in one way, shape, or form. So I like the balance of our team. I like this, the whole, morale and spirit of the group. So we'll just have to, worry about that when the time comes. But the most important thing that I think we've done as a group is we focused on each challenge that's in front of us. We talked about this after the first period the other night against Penn State. Hey boys, we got a mountain to climb here. We fell behind. They're flying. They need this game. This is this game was a game for them that they had to win to salvage something out of their season. And we said we got 2 choices. One, we can save it for next week. We're beat up, we're banged up, or we can do what we've done all year. We can get back after and try to find a way to get back in this game by leaving it on the ice. And that's what we did. And yeah, we came up short, but how we did it and the opportunities we created and how we played the last 40 minutes has kind of been what our team's done all year. And so I was really proud of the guys on how they handled that. And then that's what we're going to do this weekend when we play Michigan State. They're going to come in here. They're coming off a big win. They're going to play physical and hard, and they're going to try to make something of their season by knocking someone down. So we'll have a good week of practice and get ready for another challenge that's in front of us.
We've got a question from Steve and then Todd after that if there's additional questions.
Hi, Steve.
How are you doing? You've talked about the obstacles you faced earlier in the year with players out. I'm just wondering, with what happened in Michigan with the variant and the shutdown, how much concern do you have just about the future of the season, and how much do you kind of monitor what's going on at other schools with this?
Well, I think it's a good wake-up call for us just to say, hey, we're not out of the woods yet. I think sometimes you get a false sense of security. It's been quiet on campus without the students being here. We've kind of been by ourselves. We kind of almost feel like you're in your own bubble, but now there's more, there's more opportunity for you to run into something that could knock our season, just like it did. It knocked Michigan's season kind of out of whack. So we're going to have to be really disciplined here as far as staying away from things that you want to be part of, and we've done a really good job of it. But I think it's a good reminder, with all the students coming back on different campuses, that we still have to follow the protocol and be smart about doing everything we can to minimize our risk of jeopardizing, missing games or like in Michigan's case, a whole shutdown. So yeah, it's out there. I think it's I don't believe, and again, I don't know. I don't think it's in all of their sports. I think it happened in one of their sports, and their athletic department made that decision because they didn't want it to spread. So from a hockey standpoint, I think that they're in pretty good shape to come out of this and get playing, sooner than later. So hopefully that'll be the case.
And we've got one last question from Todd.
Tony, I wonder if you can. I think we've asked you this before. Maybe we haven't. How has the pandemic and everything that's gone on, all these different challenges, changed you or the way that you coach? Has there been anything that stood out to you that has been something you've had to handle differently just because of not being able to be in as close contact with people or anything like that?
You know what? It's been different from the standpoint because this year kind of seems like as a team, you're closer together because it's just you as a group. There's not the outsiders and the agents and the pro people coming in and all of the other distractions, so to speak, or things that go along with being a collegiate athlete or part of our team. So in some ways that's been really rewarding because I feel as a team we've become more closer and tighter knit. The other thing I learned, and I've learned a lot from the players on how they've dealt with this. They brought up a word last week. They kept skating around the rink going, man, we appreciate being here. And I don't know if they had a group thing together where they came up with that word, but that was a word in practice. And I'm going, man, you're right. We should appreciate what we got going on here because we're grateful for the opportunity to play through all of this. Our university and our athletic department has gone above and beyond to give us an opportunity to play hockey this year. And I think that's kind of been what I've learned from our players. So I'm enjoying it as much as ever. The games are different. The way the whole setup works is different. but it's still a game of hockey, and I'm still, having the opportunity to work with, other great coaches and great kids. And so from that standpoint, I think you become a little humbled by everything that's going on, but you also, look at it and say, wow, I'm pretty lucky that with all that's going on in the world and different things that we're still able to play and put a season together. And the kids, like I said, our group has been so much fun to work with this year. How they've faced everything, playing with 15 players for games, having different guys being told, hey, you can't play for a couple weeks, and all of the different things that have happened. It's been a really rewarding year that way personally. And I think as a group, we should feel really good about, and I've said this over and over, Todd, I feel really good about where we're at. And lots of it has to do with the goaltending and the maturity of bringing in an experienced goalie, but bringing in a young kid that's been able to, stand in there and give your team a chance every game. There's been some a solid, backbone in our net. Leadership from Emerson, Inamoto, Baker, and Bice has been outstanding. The young freshmen, kids that have come in here have adjusted really well in a tough year to come in as a freshman, both on and off the ice. So we got lots of good things going for us. So I'm really, happy with where we're at.
We're gonna let Alec
I don't
have.
even know if I answered your question, Todd. So if I didn't, sorry, I'm not sure where I went off.
Alec, one last question, and we'll make it quick, just for.
Sure. Hey, Tony, you talked about Michigan State. Do you kind of sense that they're looking to come in and knock you guys off this weekend? What do you know about the Spartans playing them the first time here this season?
Well, I do know everything about a weekend in the Big Ten. There's no gimmies. There's no easy weekends. They're going to play hard, and their season, again, similar to what Penn State was last weekend. We're all in that position. Season short. You look for opportunities and challenges on your schedule to say, okay, this team's playing well. What are we going to do to get our season going? And I think that's where Michigan State is. They got some physical players that we know about that will be in our face. They got a goaltender that's outstanding. He's been on a nice run the last couple of years. So from a preparation standpoint, you can't let your guard down and be sloppy in your practice habits getting ready for the week. So that's our job as coaches, is to make sure we stay sharp. But it's also, again, from our standpoint on how our teams handle all the different things. The Arizona State was a great weekend 2 weekends ago for us, because it was kind of similar to that, where you come off a big week against Minnesota and you're kind of sandwiched in between Big Ten games as a non-conference game against Arizona State. And we were ready the first night. We probably played our best 10 minutes of the season to let Arizona State go, let them know that this was a weekend that we were serious about making sure we took care of business, and we'll have to do the same thing this weekend.